Right. So, a very good morning, everyone. This is Lakshmi Hattioli, Assistant Professor, Department of Civil Engineering, KLS VDIT, Halyal. I welcome you all for this lecture series on strength of materials with the subject code 18CV32. And we are into lecture number 6. Okay, so this is my 6th class to you all. Okay, uh, someone is waiting in the lobby. Let me admit him. Okay. So before I go for today's topic level objectives, let's just check out what all things we have covered in the previous session. Okay. So in the previous session, we have solved around 3 problems, numerical examples related to determination of stresses and strains. And we have also found out deformation delta L for a uniform bar subjected to tension and compression, right? So hope you remember those formulas and steps which are used in previous problems. Okay, and I had also given you one assignment problem. Okay, I hope you remember that. In my WhatsApp notes, I had given you one assignment question. I hope everyone has solved it or given a try. Yes, have you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I guess only one person had sent me the solution of that assignment question. Okay, and of course I had checked it and the solution was very correct. I didn't get any others assignment. Have you solved or yet to solve? Have you solved
I
that?
solved my still no man.
Okay, see, thing is, anyhow, now you are completely in home and you are learning online, right? So make sure, as and how we give you assignment questions, as and how the portion is covered day to day, you need to study that and then you need to practice it. Okay, because this strength of materials, if you give a gap of 10 or 1 hour, sorry, if you give a gap of 1 week for any concept, so it takes lot of time to revise the things. Okay, so better as and how the concept has been taught to you, make sure you practice and solve the assignment question. Okay, uh, so today we'll just check out what are the today's topic level objectives. Today we shall see numerical examples continued, that is on stresses and strains, and the very new concept we'll introduce here, that is we'll solve numerical examples on determination of deformation for a uniform bar with varying forces. Okay, now suppose if I take a uniform bar and I can apply n number of force on a uniform bar, axial force. So in that case, how to solve the deformation? Now in yesterday's session, see, we have solved. Apeksha, you have not muted. Please mute yourself. Apeksha Bhajantri, mute yourself. Okay. See, now in this problem, when I give you a uniform bar and if it is subjected to say around 3 to 4 axial, calculate the deformation separately for individual blocks, right? So today I'll tell you how to do that. We'll see the procedure also, right? So let's just check out the first problem of today's class. Okay, let's just check out the first problem of today's class, right? See, the problem procedure as it goes, I have told you already, whenever you come across any numerical example, first read the question carefully. Okay. Now, simultaneously, when you start reading the question, simultaneously go on writing the given condition. Okay. So, when you read a question, start writing the given condition. That will definitely help you to think on the solution and to think on the given conditions. Okay.
Ma'am, your slides are not visible. Ma'am.
Sorry.
Slides are not visible.
Slide is not visible. What about others?
It is visible,
It's
ma'am.
visible, ma'am. It's
It is
visible.
visible, ma'am. Visible.
See, the thing is, I am facing lot of disturbance here. Many people are joining now. Okay, Prajwal, he has joined now. See what happens when I'll be teaching, I'll be concentrating on my slides, right? So when everyone starts asking me admit permission, I should give simultaneously admit as well as I need to concentrate on my slides. So that is why I have told you, well within 5 to 10 minutes, you should join the class. Okay, so next time, please make sure that well within 5 to 10 minutes, I want everyone to join the class so that this disturbance will be avoided. Okay, okay. Afreed has chatted something. I'm not audible. Afreed, am I audible now? Mohammed Afreed, am I audible now? Okay, make sure you are in full of high network coverage area so that my slides are visible to you and I'll be audible to you. Okay, so let's study the first question. Let's go through the first numerical example of today's class. Okay, see, Sannidhi. Once again, she's asking me admit permission. Please make sure that you join well within the class timing. Sannidhi, can you hear me? Sannidhi, can you hear me?
Yes,
Unmute
ma'am.
yourself and answer. Sannidhi, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
See, Sannidhi, next time, make sure that you join 5 minutes before the class. Because this is already 11:10 now, okay?
Okay,
Every
ma'am.
time I need to give admit permission to everyone, right? So it becomes quite difficult to me, okay? So next time, make sure you join the class 5 minutes early. So let's continue
Okay, ma'am.
today's class. See, a bar of rectangular section of 20 mm by 30 mm. Okay, so you have a rectangular section bar now. Okay, whose dimensions are given to you. Dimension 20 mm by 30 mm in the sense it's a cross section. Okay, so in the previous class, I have told you what is a cross section and what is a longitudinal section. Okay, so when I say a rectangular bar, so you should have an imagination of 3D rectangular block. So for a rectangular block, the cross-sectional dimension are 20 mm bar 30 mm. 20 mm will be the breadth, 30 mm will be the depth. And length is given to you, that is 500 mm. And this bar is subjected to an axial compressive load. The bar is subjected to an axial compressive load of 60 kilonewton, right? And for this particular problem, he has given you Young's modulus capital E is equal to 102 kilonewton per mm square, and mu is given to you. Hope you remember. Can anyone tell me what was mu, which we have studied in the previous session? Can anyone answer this? What is mu? It is not V, okay? It is mu. Can anyone tell me what is mu? We have studied the definition and we have studied the formula for this. Can anyone tell me mu is equal to 0.34? What is mu? Yes? Anyone? Amog? Amog, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can anyone tell me what is the answer? What is mu value? Mu in the sense? Okay, no worries. So mu is, hope you remember, this is Poisson's ratio. Okay, so we have discussed the Poisson's ratio. What is Poisson's ratio? It is the ratio of lateral strain by linear strain.
Yes.
Correct? Delta B by B whole divided by delta L by L. Correct? Or delta D by D whole divided by delta L by L. Poisson's ratio, we have discussed this, lateral strain by linear strain. So that Poisson's ratio is given to you as 0.34. Correct? So write down all these given conditions. Now the thing is,
Ma'am, your slides are not visible.
Mazin,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What about others? Manikya, Bhagyashree?
Visible, ma'am.
Okay.
Visible, ma'am. Visible.
Mazin, I request you, probably you and another one, some two of you people are not able to hear my voice and nor my slides are visible to you. Are you in high network coverage area? Where are you
Yes.
now?
Ma'am, in
Mazin?
room. Ma'am, network is there, ma'am.
Okay, but still maybe you're facing some issues. I request you, see, once again log out and log in once again. Okay, Mazin? You
Yes,
just
ma'am.
log out and log in once again. Maybe there might be some network issues. So log out and log in once again. Okay. So others just concentrate now. So I have told you the given condition now. I hope everyone has taken down the given conditions. Okay. So what are the given conditions now? See, rectangular block, you can draw the diagram. Rectangular block. You can draw the diagram rectangular block. Breadth B is equal to 20 mm, depth D is equal to 30 mm, and length of the bar is 500 mm. Correct? And axial compressive load of 60 kilonewton is already given. See, when I apply a compressive load, can anyone tell me whether the block undergoes extension or compression or shortening?
Shortening, ma'am.
Shortening, right? So I'm applying a 60 kilonewton load in the sense there is shortening in the member. Young's modulus is given to you. Poisson's ratio is given to you. You're supposed to determine, what is the question mark to you? What you're supposed to determine? You're supposed to determine change in length. In the sense, you should find out the deformation and the sides of the bar. Determine the change in length and sides of the bar. See, change in length and change in sides. Whether the length increases or decreases, length decreases. So you should find out the deformation. Can anyone tell me mathematically how should I give deformation in terms of length? What I should find out?
Delta L equal to
Delta
PL
L, very good.
by
Yes, yes, excellent. So I need to find out delta L here. Okay. Next, I also need to find out, he has also told you change in sides of the bar. In the sense, I should find out delta B as well as delta D. Now in this case, remember this is not a circular section. This is a rectangular section. So I need to find out breadth as well as depth. Okay, change in breadth and change in depth. So delta B as well as delta D I need to find out. Okay, so these are the things I need to find out. So once if we have written the given condition, once we have checked out what need to be found out here, now let's go through the solution part. Okay, see solution, length is 500 mm, breadth B, depth D, P is in kilonewton, so I have converted in newtons. 60 into 10 raised to 3, that is 1000. So 60,000 newtons. Next, Young's modulus is given to you in terms of kilonewton per mm square. Let me convert in Newton per mm square. Always see, have a habit of conversion into Newton per mm square. So that will make you quite easier to solve the problem. Okay. So kilo I have converted, that is kilo in the sense 10 raised to 3. So 102 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per mm square. So I have converted P as well as E. Next step, cross-sectional area. Remember, this is only one block. There are no n number of blocks here. It is only one block, correct? So cross-sectional area A is equal to, since this is a rectangular section, can anyone tell me what will be the area for a rectangular section of breadth B and depth D? What is the area?
Length into breadth.
Length into breadth? Is it length into breadth? Amol?
No, ma'am. Depth into breadth, ma'am.
Exactly.
Depth
It
into.
is breadth into depth. B into D it is. See, always when I say area, in the sense it's a cross-sectional area. So cross-section, what will you observe? Breadth and depth. So the area formula is breadth into depth. So 20 into 30 I have written here, that is 600 mm square. This is my area. Next, compressive stress sigma is equal to. So he has asked to find out stress. So compressive stress sigma is equal to P divided by A. P is already known to you. A you have calculated. So it is 100 Newton per mm square. Correct? Next, longitudinal strain. First of all, you should understand what is longitudinal strain. See, longitudinal in the sense in terms of length. Whatever the changes or deformation you observe in terms of length, it is longitudinal strain. That is delta L. Is that longitudinal strain? Is that understood? That is EL or epsilon L, longitudinal strain. So longitudinal strain in the sense, see, Young's modulus is equal to stress divided by strain. capital E Young's modulus is equal to stress divided by strain. That strain is nothing but longitudinal strain. Remember this. Okay? Because I am applying a axial load here. So longitudinal strain EL is equal to stress divided by capital E, because we know that Young's modulus capital E is equal to stress divided by linear strain. Okay, so it is 100 divided by capital E. You will get it as 0.00098. Is this understood to everyone? Longitudinal strain calculation.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, lateral
Yes,
strain.
ma'am.
Next is lateral strain. See, lateral in the sense, whatever the changes you observe in lateral dimension, maybe delta B or maybe delta D. So that is lateral strain. Okay, see, for lateral strain calculation, he has given you one hint. What is the hint given to you? He has given you Poisson's ratio. Poisson's ratio is how much? 0.34. So remember the formula for Poisson's ratio. Poisson's ratio mu is equal to lateral strain by linear strain. Now linear strain you have already calculated. Linear is nothing but longitudinal strain. It is already calculated. So what is lateral strain? Lateral strain is mu into linear strain. So 0.34 into linear strain. So answer is 0.00033. Have you understood this lateral strain?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
fine. Next, decrease in length. See, why I am using decrease in length here? Because it is a compressive load. The length decreases. So decrease in length, or you can also call it as shortening. Okay, delta L is equal to, how can you find out delta L? Change in length divided by original length is strain. Correct? What is the linear strain formula? Change in length divided by original length. So now decrease in length, that is change in length delta L, is longitudinal strain you have already calculated. So that strain into length, you will get decrease in length. That's all. Right? So 0.49 mm. Next, increase in breadth. See, for a rectangular section, when you apply a compressive load, whether the breadth increases or decreases, cross-sectional area increases or decreases,
Increases, ma'am.
increases, correct? So apply a
Increases,
compressive
ma'am.
load to a member, the cross-sectional area increases. So increase in breadth is equal to delta B is equal to lateral strain into B. It is a similar kind of. So decrease in length is linear strain into L. So increase in breadth is lateral strain into B. Similarly, increase in depth delta D is equal to lateral strain into D. Okay, so 0.0099 mm. So this is the solution of this particular problem. Have you understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So
Yes,
I'll go to the
ma'am.
next problem now. I'll go to the next problem. 1 second. Okay. Observe this slide carefully. Just go through the question. See, we have studied the tensile test on mild steel specimen. Have you studied that graph? Stress versus strain graph? Nominal stress versus strain. Have you studied that graph? Tensile test?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Just remember that concept. Just remember that experiment. Just remember that graph. Now I'll solve a numerical example on that particular graph itself. Okay. So now read the question. A tensile test was conducted on a mild steel specimen and the following data was observed. Okay. So they have conducted one tensile test experiment and he has given you the data. Okay, which is taken from the universal testing machine. Okay, so by using these data, he has asked you to calculate few of the things. Now let's study that. See, initially diameter of the steel bar is given to you. Initial diameter it is. What is the initial diameter? 3 centimeter. 3 centimeter in the sense how many mm?
0.3 mm.
0.3 mm. Huh?
300 mm.
300
30
mm. Very
mm.
Who is big? See, whenever you will be answering, please tell your name and answer. Is it Chaitranjali who has answered this?
No, ma'am.
Please tell your name and answer.
Among ma'am, 30 mm ma'am.
Yes, Amu, very correct. See, I have already told you. Okay, Praveen Sungar is raising the hand. Yes, Praveen, can you answer this?
Same ma'am, 30 mm ma'am. Same.
30 mm, very good. Okay, fine. See, I request once again to everyone, whatever subject you study in civil engineering, first of all, your basic should be very strong. That is, your units and imaginations of dimensions is very important for a civil engineering. See, when I say 30 feet, when I say 30 meter, both the imagination should come in mind. What is 30 meter? What is 30 feet? What is 6 feet? Right? See, your height, Amok, can you tell me what is your height?
5
Five
feet
what?
ma'am.
What is a unit? See, you being a civil engineer, when I ask you something, you should always tell me in terms of units now. When you, what, five in the sense 5 centimeters, 5 inch?
No,
Yes, what is your height, Amog?
5 feet ma'am.
5? Please don't
Feet,
hesitate. Don't hesitate. Your answer is very correct.
5 feet ma'am.
5 feet. So Amok says his height is 5 feet. 5, see, you should imagine that when I say 5 feet, you should imagine that 5 feet. Are you getting my point? 5 feet in the sense each 1 feet is equal to 12 inches. Hope you know this. 1 feet is 12 inch. 1 inch in the sense 2.54 centimeters. Are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Please study the unit conversions properly. Please study the unit conversion. So his height is 5 feet now. So he might be 5 feet 2 inches, 5 feet 4 inches. So whatever the units we use, you should come across those units and you should imagine it. And those imagination you should get into the subject. Then only this subject becomes interesting. Else it is simply a number. When I say 3 centimeter, it is completely that it is 30 mm because we have studied yesterday that 1 centimeter is equal to 10 mm. Please understand and remember this. 1 centimeter is equal to 10 mm. So 3 centimeter is equal to multiplied by 10. So 30 mm. Are you getting my point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now henceforth, whenever I ask you unit conversion, please be very sure and please practice well. Okay. Okay, so initial diameter of the steel bar is given to you as 3 centimeter, that is 30 mm. Gauge length of the bar, what is gauge length? It is a standard length, whatever we make the punch mark, right? So that is nothing but gauge length. So gauge length is given to you as 20 centimeter. 20 centimeter gauge length in the sense, how many mm?
200 mm.
200 mm, very correct. See, whenever you answer, please tell your name and answer. Who answered this 200 mm?
Chaitranjali.
Chaitranjali. Okay. See, you can say Chaitranjali, it is 200 mm. This is how you need to answer so that I'll get used to who is answering the question and all. Okay. Next. Load at elastic
Okay,
limit.
ma'am.
Please imagine the graph now which we have studied. Elastic limit load is given to you as 250 kilonewton. Extension at the load of 150 kilonewton in the sense when I apply 150 kilonewton to a bar, the extension delta L observed is 0.21 mm. Next, maximum load the specimen has taken during tensile test, it is 380 kilonewton. Okay, next, total extension in the sense final. After the initial original length is 30 mm or 3 centimeter. Total extension after the experiment, what is the total extension? It is 60 mm. In the sense, how many centimeter?
6,000.
Chaitranjali.
6 centimeter.
60 mm in the sense, how many centimeter?
6
6
centimeter.
centimeters.
6 centimeter. Very correct. Very correct. 6 centimeter. So what can you tell me? What is the difference in extension here? Original length minus final length. What is that answer?
3 centimeter ma'am.
Very good. 3
3
centimeter.
centimeters.
Okay. Very good. 3 centimeter. So this is how concentrate and try to involve when I ask the question. Then only your interest will generate. Okay. Next, diameter of the rod of at the time of failure, when you apply a tensile load, diameter decreases. It's very obvious, right? When you apply a load, tensile load to any circular cross section, the diameter decreases. So that decrease in diameter is 2.25 centimeter. In the sense, how many mm?
22.5 mm, ma'am.
Very correct. Very
22.5.
correct. Yes, 22.5 mm. Right? So these are the given conditions now. Now with these given conditions, he has asked you to find out Young's modulus capital E. Young's modulus, or it is also called as modulus of elasticity. Right? So capital E you're supposed to find out, and you should find out stress at elastic limit. When I reach the point elastic limit, what was the stress? This is your question. Next, percentage elongation. This is I have told you the formula for percentage elongation. Hope you remember that. Okay, revise it and we'll see the solution now. Next, percentage decrease in area. So now these are the things you're supposed to work on. So now let's see the solution now. See, initial diameter is given to you, so I can easily find out the initial area. So what is the initial area? Pi by 4 d square, correct? Because this is a circular section, area is pi by 4 d square. So multiply pi by 4 into 3 square. So you will get an answer 7.0685 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square. Okay, see, you can also convert in mm square also, not an issue. Always, if you try to convert in mm itself, that will be very easy. See, rather converting after once, if you get the area in centimeter square, then to convert in meter square, it's better you use 30 mm and find out the area, so that you will get it in mm square. Is that understood? It's better you use 30 mm and find out the area, so that the final answer will be in terms of mm square. Or if you use directly 0.3, because 0.3 centimeter in the sense, 3 centimeter in the sense, how many meters?
30 mm.
Meter.
300 mm, ma'am.
300 mm.
I'm asking you centimeter to meter conversion.
0.03 meter, ma'am.
Very good. Who answered this?
Susmita, ma'am.
Sushmita. Okay, see, 1 meter is equal to how many centimeter?
100
centimeter.
100 centimeter.
Please understand. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Right? So 3 centimeter is equal to 0.03 meters. Okay. So you should know the unit conversion in terms of centimeter, meter and mm. Okay. Practice all the things. I'll repeat. 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Remember this. Okay. Now in this particular problem, I request it's better you do here. Everything is done in meter square. It's better you do in mm square itself. Take area as 30 mm. Find out the answer. Okay. You will get it in mm square. Next. See, next is he has asked you to find out Young's modulus. Can anyone tell me what is the formula for Young's modulus? How do you find out capital E?
Stress
divided by strain.
within the elastic limit, ma'am.
Very good. Within the elastic limit is very important here. Okay. Stress divided by strain within elastic limit. So that means to find out capital E, you should have stress, you should have strain within elastic limit. Okay. Now to calculate stress, see, stress divided by strain, I should find out the stress first now. Okay. Now to find out stress, what is the formula for stress? Load by area. Can you tell me which load I should consider? Whether, see, there are 3 loads are given to you in the question. Concentrate on the question now. 250 kilonewton is given to you, 150 kilonewton is given to you, and 380 kilonewton is given to you. Can anyone tell me, to be in within elastic limit, which load I should consider?
Extension at a load, ma'am.
Newton.
Sorry?
Extension at a load.
Okay, I should consider 150 then.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, see, of course, the solution is already there here. extension at the load 150 is given to you. But see, suppose, see, if I take 250, will my answer be wrong? Because see, if you see the question, it is load at elastic limit. I'm still in elastic limit if I take 250. If I take 250, will my answer be wrong, Shilpa?
Ma'am, not wrong, ma'am, but it is at the stress at the elastic limit, ma'am.
Okay, so what? See, Young's modulus is stress divided by strain within elastic limit. Or even at the point of elastic limit, if you calculate, that is also fine. Are you getting my point? So
Yes, ma'am.
when load at elastic limit 250 is given to you, why are you taking 150? Taking 250 is wrong according to you?
No, ma'am. But
Then,
finding,
yes, elaborate. Justify.
but finding the stress at the load extension is accurate, right?
Yes, very correct. You are very correct, Shilpa. Justify it once again.
Finding the stress at that load of extension, ma'am, it is accurate, ma'am.
Okay, so Shilpa says that you get accuracy at 150 kilonewton load. But Shilpa, my answer is, okay, please concentrate on my wordings, everyone. My answer is, even if you calculate at 150 or even if you calculate at 250, both the answers are absolutely very correct. But the problem is, see, if by taking 150, no doubt you will get stress calculation. 150 divided by area, you will get stress. Even by taking 250, you will get stress. 250 divided by area, you will get stress. Not an issue at all. The answer is very correct. But my problem is while calculating the strain. Young's modulus capital E is equal to stress divided by strain. Now you have calculated stress means respective strain also you should calculate. Then only you will get capital E. Now to calculate strain, what you require? Delta L by L. Correct? Now in the question, for 250 kilonewton load, delta L is given to you or no?
No, ma'am.
No. But for 150 kilonewton, is delta L is given to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So which I should consider now? 150 or 250?
150.
150, ma'am.
150. That is the only answer. Have you understood this? Why I should take 150?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
even
Yes,
if you
ma'am.
take 250, your answer is very correct because that is also load at elastic limit. But the only problem is after calculating stress at 250, there is no value to calculate strain at 250. So that is why I am going for 150 kilonewton load. Calculate stress at 150 and calculate strain at 150 because for strain at 150, 0.2 mm delta L is already given to you. So with that you can calculate strain. Okay, so let's do that. Stress is equal to load by area. So 150 kilonewton, convert in kilonewton, 150 into 10 raised to 3 divided by area you have already calculated. Those who have calculated in mm square, you can take the same value. Only thing is you will get an answer in Newton per mm square. Okay, that is also very correct. There is no hard and fast rule that you should keep the answer in Newton per meter square itself. You can keep your answer in Newton per mm square also, not an issue at all. Okay, so you will get an answer here, stress at 150 kilonewton load. Next thing is you should calculate strain. Okay, so let's calculate the strain now. So just see here, strain is equal to increase in length divided by original length. So strain at 150 is 0.21 mm, which is already given to you in the question, divided by original length. Original length is 20 centimeter. So 20 into 10 is 200 mm, correct? So when you do this calculation, you will get the answer as 0.00105. Now with this, calculate Young's modulus is equal to stress divided by strain. You will get an answer that is 202.095 into 10 raised to 9 Newton per meter square. 10 raised to 9 in the sense giga. So I can take giga Newton per meter square. Okay. So you can also do this calculation in Newton per mm square, not an issue. That is also very correct answer. You can keep the answer in Newton per mm square also. Okay. So my next thing, in the question here, see, I'll show you the question once again now. He has also asked you stress at elastic limit. Okay, determine, concentrate on B question now. Determine stress at elastic limit. So to calculate what is stress at elastic limit, see load at elastic limit is given to you as 250. So 250 by area, you will get stress at elastic limit. Okay, so I'll show you the solution now. Stress at elastic limit is load at elastic limit divided by area. So substitute this value, you will get an answer. That's all. 353.68 meganewton per meter square. Okay. Next, percentage decrease in percentage decrease in the length. See, I'm applying a compressive load here. So when I apply I'm applying the tensile load here. So when I apply a tensile load, that means my area decreases and length increases. So take down this formula. This formula is already given to you. Okay. So and substitute this 60 divided by 20 into 10. So you will get it as 30%. Okay. Next, percentage decrease in the area. That was percentage increase in the length. Now the last calculation is percentage decrease in the area. Okay. So the formula is original area minus final area or load area at the failure divided by original area into 100. So you know what is original area, it is already calculated. You know what is final area, substitute and get that answer. Okay. So this was about Young's tensile load calculations, tensile test calculation. Now I shall go into my next problem. Shall I go to the next problem?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we'll go through the next problem now. Okay, read the question carefully. Now this is again a typical type of problem. 1 minute. So this is a typical type of problem wherein you can see a bar is divided into 3 sections, A, B and C. Okay, a bar is divided into 3 sections, A, B and C, and I am applying a tensile load of 20 kilonewton. Now for this particular diagram, the question is determine stress at each section. How many sections you have? 3 sections. So for all the 3 sections, section A, section B and section C, you should find out stress. Okay, and it is subjected to an axial load of 20 kilonewton. Okay, and see, he has given you few of the things. The central section is a square section and other portions are circular section. So B section is a square and A and C section is circular. Imagine this, B is square, A and C is circular section. Okay. Now, next question is, what will be the total extension of the bar? Okay. He is asking you total extension. See, you are applying a tensile load of 20 kilonewton for A, B as well as C. It's not a single bar now. Though it is a single bar, you have 3 sections, section A, section B and section C. He is asking you the total extension from A, B and C. Is that clear? And for this particular problem, he has given you Young's modulus. That is, he is actually telling you what type of material it is. So Young's modulus is given to you, that is 2.1 into 10 raised to 5 megapascal. Okay, so this is megapascal in the sense Newton per mm square. Now, whenever you get such question, what to do? First of all, I'll tell you the procedure here. Whenever you get such type of question, now that means you have a bar of different section and a single load is acting for all the 3 sections. Whenever you get such type of question, okay, you should calculate each section individually. Always remember this. calculate A section separately, calculate B separately, calculate C section separately, then take the algebraic sum of A, B and C. Then you will get the final extension. Okay, I'll repeat once again. Calculate the deformation or stress separately for A, B as well as C, and then take the algebraic summation so that you will understand this carefully. Okay, and you will understand this very neatly. So let me go through the solution now. First of all, he has asked you stress at each section. Now, to calculate stress, I have load already given to you. That is 20 kilonewton, 20 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. Now, to calculate stress, I need area. Correct? So, for calculation of area, see, observe the figure carefully. Observe the figure carefully. For section A, 20 mm diameter is given to you. Section C, 15 mm diameter is given to you. Okay? And section B, 20 mm square is given to you. Now, with these diameter and square length, can I calculate the area? Anyone? Yes, Amu,
Yes,
Shilpa,
yes, ma'am.
can I
Yes, ma'am.
calculate the area?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. See, section A diameter is 20 mm. So, what is the area? Pi by 4, 20 square.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct?
Yes,
Now,
ma'am.
we'll just go through the solution now. See the solution from point number 1. Area for the bar A, pi by 4, 20 square, you will get area. Next, stress at bar A, sigma A is equal to, what is sigma A? Load by area. Load is already given to you as 20 kilonewton, 20 into 10 raised to 3, divided by area, you will get 63.6 megapascal. So, my stress at A is over. Next, come to area for B. See, remember, B section is a square section. So, whenever you get a square section, what will be the area? Breadth into depth. Now, since it is a square, breadth and depth are same. So, 30 into 30. So, 900 mm square. Next, stress at B is load by area. You will get 22.22 megapascal. Similarly, do the calculation for C. Area for C and stress at C. Is this understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, extension of each section of the bar. So the last question he has asked you in this particular problem is find out the total extension. So to find out the total extension from A, B and C, I should calculate extension at A, extension at B, then extension at C. So calculate it separately. First of all, extension of the bar A is equal to, how do you calculate the extension? It is a linear extension because I'm not calculating any lateral strain here. With the help of linear strain, I'm calculating now. So extension of the bar A is equal to, how can I calculate? Can anyone tell me what the calculation has been made here? Yes? Or you can use, instead of this, okay? See, I had given you one formula. Whenever for a uniform bar, I had told you to remember one formula. What is that formula? Can anyone tell me? Delta L is equal to?
Strain is equal to stress by Young's modulus, ma'am.
Strain is equal to stress. See, but I'm not calculating strain here. I'm calculating delta L. Extension I'm
Yes,
calculating.
ma'am. In strain, ma'am, delta L will be
Okay,
here,
very
ma'am, and
correct,
length
Amog.
will
I
be
got your
present, ma'am.
answer. Amog, very correct. I got your answer. But instead of this, I had asked you to remember one formula. For a uniform bar, can you tell me when I apply a load, it may be tension or compression, delta L formula? I had given you this in last
Delta
class.
is equal to PL by AE.
Very good. Who answered this? Chaitranjali? Okay,
Yes,
very
ma'am.
correct. I have told you whenever you answer, you tell your name and answer. So Chaitranjali, you are very correct. The answer is PL upon AE. See, this is a uniform bar. It is not tapering. This is a uniform bar. And I am applying a load P, that is tensile load. So in this case, I can definitely use that formula. Delta L is equal to PL upon AE. Correct? So, see, forget of this, whatever the calculation has been made here. Simply use PL upon AE for bar A. What is P? 20 kilonewton, 20 into 10 raised to 3. What is L? In first case, L is 250 mm. PL upon AE. AE for A section is already been calculated, right? E is already given to you. So use that formula and get an answer. You will get the same answer, 0.0758 mm. Is that understood? Similarly, you can do extension of bar B. Use the same formula PL upon AE. Only thing is area changes and length changes. You will get 0.0106 mm. Similarly, do the calculation for extension for bar C. Okay, that is extension for bar C. You will get it as 0.2155 mm. Is that understood? So once a separate extension is calculated for block A, block B and block C, what next? After this, you should take an algebraic summation of all the three sections delta L. See, for all the three sections, I am applying a tensile load of 20 kilonewton. Is it not that block A, block B, block C, all are subjected to tension? Or is there any block subjected to compression? Can anyone answer this? Is it not all the sections are subjected to tension? Or is there any block it is subjected to compression?
All tension, ma'am.
All are tension, very correct.
Tension.
Block A, block B and block C, all are tension in the sense I should add the extension or subtract the extension.
Add the extension.
Add the
ma'am.
extension, very correct. See, I told you tension means you should take plus. Compression means you should take minus. Because it's short. Okay. Now, since this is tension, add all the values 0.058 plus 0.0106 plus 0.2155. Add all the extensions. You will get the total extension or final extension for all the three sections as 0.302 mm. Is the answer understood? Is the solution understood to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
fine. Okay, fine. So this is about deformation calculation for varying section problem. See, this we call it as a varying section problem. Why varying section? Because you have three sections here. You have three sections and you have only one axial load here. Correct? So this is a varying section problem. So in my next class, I'll take another problem wherein I'll take varying loads problem. Varying loads in the sense, same problem probably, block A, block B, block C. But for block B, I'll apply one more load of 10 kilonewton. So I'll apply n number of loads, varying loads. Now in this particular problem, there was only one load for three sections. In my next class, I'll take three sections with 3 or 4 types of loads. Then I'll tell you how to solve the deformation. Is that understood? So whenever I take any problem, try to differentiate between first problem and the previous problem. Okay, so then you can understand this very carefully, because initially when I'll be explaining, it feels to be very easy. Okay, but when you go through, when you solve it individually, then you may face it problem. So try to differentiate, and after my class, please concentrate, practice it. Hold a pen and a paper, practice it. Then only you will understand this. Okay, so any doubt in today's problems?
No,
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No.
Okay, so today
No,
I have
ma'am.
sent you whatever I have taught you. I have sent you the WhatsApp notes. Okay, use that. Okay, try to solve the problem. And in the assignment question, I have given you 2 assignment questions in today's class in the WhatsApp group. Okay, let's see who will solve that problem. Okay, so we'll discuss that problem in tomorrow's class. Okay, so that's all for today class. And one request to everyone, especially those who have come late for today's class, one request to everyone, from tomorrow onwards, okay, you should be online, okay, well within 5 minutes of my class. That means if my class starts at 11 o'clock, means 10:55 I should admit you all. Is it understood, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See why? Because every time when I'll be explaining, I should give you admit. So that makes I'll get disturbed while I'll be explaining. So please make sure that just join 5 minutes early to the class. That's all. Okay. So Thank you. Please go through the WhatsApp notes, whatever we have sent you. Okay, so to summarize, today we have discussed numerical examples on stress and strain and deformation calculation for the section with varying sections. Okay, in my next class, we'll study with the deformation calculations with varying loads. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.